The next storm is coming, and the foreclosures and the auctions and the fire sales will blow your mind, or at least I suspect it will, because they completely blew my mind. And to be totally transparent, I was completely unaware that these things were happening in my market right now. And if I hadn't started looking for these off-market opportunities and auction market opportunities that exist behind the scenes, if I wasn't looking for them for myself, chances are I wouldn't know they even existed. But rather than talking to you about them, I'm going to show you one right now so that I can blow your mind too. And with that in mind, away we go. Because we're going to go check this house, which is on sale for auction right now. Now, does that mean that the Florida housing market is about to crash today? No, it doesn't mean that. Does it mean that you should not buy a home if it's right for you right now, today? No, it doesn't mean that. Does it mean that the economy and the system is about to fail right now, today? No, it does not mean that. But it does mean you must pay attention to what's happening in real time in order to make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. And the truth is, right now in my market, there is not a lot of new homes being listed on the market. There is a short supply of new homes that are available for sale. And while there's been a pretty big uptick in the month's supply of inventory that's sitting on the market unsold, the majority of those homes that are sitting on the market unsold are sitting on the market unsold for one of three reasons: price, condition, and marketing. And truthfully, it's got a lot less to do with condition and a lot more to do with location, condition, and price. Now, as many of you know, I'm a boots-on-the-ground operator of a high-performance team down here in South Florida, primarily servicing the markets of South Palm Beach County. And if you notice in the background, it's a little bit hazy, it's a little bit overcast, it's a little bit foreboding, or perhaps it's just foreshadowing of the storm that's about to come. And right now, off the coast, there is a storm, Invest 92L, which is very likely to develop into a much stronger storm. It's very likely to turn into a tropical depression or a tropical storm in the next few days. And while I don't see a foreclosure crisis happening in the near term in my housing market, I would be completely irresponsible if I didn't share what's happening right now in terms of distressed sellers. Because although there hasn't been a massive uptick in terms of distressed sales that have been forced by banks yet, and because I'm primarily hyper-focused on servicing and supporting the buyers and sellers who hire me to find their dream home and dream lifestyle right now, and although I'm hyper-focused on following exactly what's happening in my hyper-local markets and every metro that exists within the state of Florida, I have not been paying attention to the auction sites and to the distressed sellers, which exist right now. I haven't been focusing on them the right way, up until I am. And you can bet your sweet Bippy that I am right now, which is why we're going on this little joyride. Because as I was doing some discovery and some research on potential properties that I might be interested in investing in and providing a solution for those distressed sellers who need help, which I can potentially offer a creative financing solution for, which creates a win-win for both of us. If I wasn't focused on that, if I wasn't targeting that hyper-local niche that exists right now, I wouldn't have found it. And although I know that personal financial distress is on the uptick, and I was governing myself with the information that's available through the MLS or from the Florida Realtor Association, like most real estate professionals are, I'd be completely clueless as to what's happening. And I'm sharing it with you so that you know that it exists and you can capitalize on the opportunities too. And if you want to learn what that process looks like and watch me do it in real time, then please join my Patreon channel, where I will go off talking about everything that they will censor me for here on YouTube and show you exactly how I will acquire these opportunities for myself and other investors in the future. And full disclosure, in the past, when I've invested in real estate, it's always been funded by using traditional mortgages and traditional products, and none of it has been particularly creative, which doesn't mean it hasn't been profitable or hasn't been a success. It just hasn't been something that I focused on in the way I'm going to focus on it now and in the future, which I'm going to share the entire process from soup to nuts on my Patreon channel. And obviously I'm talking about it here too, or I wouldn't be making this video. But since I'm driving to this property, which is on auction right now, the auction will happen this Thursday, and the final judgment is already in. When I saw the auction and I saw the property, I instantly knew that the comps in the neighborhood support a significantly higher price, because the final judgment on this particular property is somewhere around 1.5, and the comps in the subdivision, depending on the condition, go up to 7.5 million. And while obviously I don't know the condition of this home yet, and there's a lot of information I don't know, I certainly am curious, which is why I'm making this video and sharing it with you. Because the foreclosures that are happening right now and the auctions that are happening right now completely blew my mind. But that's not the only thing that's blown my mind right now. My mind was blown this past weekend when I went to show someone just like you who found me on YouTube that's interested in purchasing new construction. My mind was blown when we went to the builder to look at the model homes. And I'll pop in some videos of that experience so you can see it too. But I was blown away by the lot premium increases that have happened over the last few months, because the builders have completely jacked up the price on lots to build new homes on by a lot over the last few months and over the last few years too, but it's gone parabolic over the last few months. And what was even more shocking was the email that the service rep provided, someone who works for the builder, their sales rep shared with us, which was the schedule of increases that they intend to do over the next year as they continue to roll out more properties. And while I always look to builders to be a leading indicator as far as strength in the market goes, because I know that builders, if they feel challenged, will start to offer incentives to buyers in order to sweeten the deal and move their product. So when builders start offering increased commissions or increased incentives to the buyers, I know that that's a leading indicator that demand is starting to weaken. And so far, every builder in my market is doing the exact opposite of that. They're increasing the premiums. They're increasing the prices. There are no incentives other than the fear of missing out. But we're not going to miss out on this auction because we're going to go check it out right now. We got a gate. Hello. I didn't realize it was a gated community. I saw there was a home that was up for auction, and I was going to go take a tour around it. Full disclosure, I should have known better. I should have known that it was a gated community. I know it's in a golf community, and I thought I might be able to sweet talk my way in, but that is why they pay security, and I was denied access. But it's not exactly the end of the world, because I'm going to pivot to a screen share, which will give you a heck of a lot more information and hopefully showcase this property the right way. I'm going to start at the first place that I started looking when I was doing some research, and I found that the information that they're sharing is very different than the information that's published by the MLS or by any of the real estate organizations that I'm a part of. But what you can see in foreclosure.com, and I'll include a link if you'd like to check this out further, is that there are currently 218,834 foreclosed homes listed in Florida. And while I cannot speak to the accuracy of that number, I can tell you that that is a very different number than anything that I've seen so far in my research as a real estate professional. But given that I'm looking at this from a completely different lens and I'm looking at this from an investor perspective, I don't have any reason to believe or disbelieve what these numbers are. I need to figure out if they're true or not. And so that's what I'm doing here. But what you can see on foreclosure.com is that as far as the state is concerned, there are 22, almost 23,000 pre-foreclosures, 98 short sales, 1,200 sheriff sales, 1,618 foreclosures, which seems more in line with what the MLS numbers are, 62,000 bankruptcies, which is a proof positive metric that personal financial distress is on the uptick. There are 99 rent to owns, 131,000, almost 132,000 tax liens, and 200 as is deals as far as the overall macro picture of the state of Florida is concerned. And again, I have not verified the accuracy of any of this as of yet. I'm working through the process with you. There are almost 1,800 pre-foreclosures in Palm Beach County, 104 sheriff sales, 93 foreclosures, 1,900 bankruptcies, 2 short sales, 2,045 tax liens, 9 rent-to-owns, 104 auctions, and 2 as-is deals. And I found foreclosure.com to be a very useful resource. And so I'll include a link if you'd like to learn more about foreclosure.com. But through foreclosure.com, I found another site called auction.com, which I found the property that I went to tour today. And that is a foreclosure sale at 39 Country Road in Boynton Beach. You saw the tour. It's very close to my house. And I noticed that it was scheduled for auction. And while I have not signed up for auction.com yet, I did do some research into the information that they have provided. Now, because of the sensitivity of some of the information that you can find yourself if you choose to, I'm not going to put these people on blast and publicly display what the information is. But I will tell you that through auction.com, you can then be sent to the county site and you can bid on this home. What I find to be interesting is that the resale value is not available. The opening bid is $100. The rental estimate is $9,400. But when I scroll further down the listing, I also learn what the terms of this auction are, and that it's cash only, and it's not conducted by auction.com. It has not yet been cleared for auction. The foreclosure contract information is listed, and they do not pay a broker cooperation fee. So a real estate professional is probably not going to be incentivized to do anything with this property because there is no commission. And frankly, most real estate professionals are not going to be interested in teaching you about different opportunities for you to take advantage of because they're not getting paid a commission. So as a real estate professional, this is against my best interest to share with you. But I'm sharing it anyway because I intend to go after properties like this and show you exactly how I do it so that you can do it yourself or we can do it together. And it's exactly why I joined the Sub2 community and I hired Pace Morby to teach me and mentor me in this process so that I can go out there and serve and support not only my clients at the highest level, but also you, the audience, because I'm going to show from soup to nuts how I offer win-win solutions to distressed sellers in order to not only help them, but to build my own real estate portfolio without using my own cash, credentials, or credit in the process. Because as soon as I master this, like I've mastered every other element within the real estate profession, I then have more tools at my disposal to go out there and help serve and support more people, buyers, sellers, investors, and people who are suffering from personal financial distress. And I want to be able to help everyone. But as you can see on the screen, the auction starts 10 a.m. on Thursday. The final judgment amount is a touch over 1.445, and the plaintiff max bid is exactly that same number. But what's also interesting is how many other auctions are happening on this same day. One in Boca, one in Jupiter, and two in Boynton. And while I haven't determined whether any of these are a good deal or not, or whether I'm the right buyer for any of these properties or not, it is a good starting point for me to get more information and start learning about the process. Because the next storm is coming and the foreclosures blew my mind. Now, I hope you found this content valuable, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. If you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere, please reach out because we would love to help. Check me out on Patreon because I go off, and check out my next video because I suspect you will love it a lot. And until next time,